The two most important things to look for in a man that you're dating, that you're pursuing, that is pursuing you. What are you looking for in him that qualifies him for your presence? Because you are special. You have things to offer. You're too valuable to be wasting time on any man that is not of at least equal quality to what you can offer as a person. So what are you looking for? Right now, you're probably blinded by emotions if you're looking at a male or if he's interested in you and you like him as well. You're probably blinded by emotions because you're caught up in his visual appearance. It's causing feelings in you, and obviously you may like those feelings. These things blind you to the content of the true person. And the content of the true person is what's going to sustain the relationship long term. Looks won't do that. Looks won't do that. So this foundation that builds a long-term relationship is built on two things that I believe you should look for in a man. One is what's the content of his heart. Two is what's the content of his head or his mind. The content of his heart is talking about his emotional stability. It's talking about his spiritual beliefs. It's talking about how does he treat people. To me, that's one of the most important things. How does he treat people? How does he treat himself? What kind of confidence does he have? Self-esteem. Those tie into emotional stability as well. How he views himself as a person. How he treats you as a woman. How does he view women in general? Be careful because these things develop in stages. The answers to these questions, the answers to these things you're looking for in him, they may not all be there now. But if you can find a good foundation and if he's trying to grow as a man, then you have something to build on. Because people grow in stages, people grow in phases. So he's not going to have everything you're looking for now. He's not going to have everything that I'm telling you to look for right now. People grow in these stages. Just like you grow in stages. Think of it as like a flower that's a small seed, and then it blooms into a beautiful flower over time. That's how you grow. That's how all humans grow. So give him that leeway to grow into a person as well, but make sure you look for these two things. So we just talked about heart. Let's go to the mind, the head. So in his heart, he needs to have a good character. He needs to be a good person and treat other people well. In his head, he needs to have knowledge. He needs to have goals. He needs to have a vision for the future. He needs to have leadership ability. He needs to be walking in a determined direction every day. He has to have something to do with his life, a plan, a strategy. You know, what are you doing with your life? Where are you going? Where do you see yourself in 5, in 10 years, in 20 years? Like I said, he may not know all these answers, but he needs to have some plan for personal development, some way to become a better human being. And then, these are the things you're going to look for because you're going to be with him long term. You know, you don't date for anything but long-term commitment. Long-term commitment. The relationship is for a long-term commitment. So why would I be with you long-term if you don't have the qualities that are going to lead to a long-term good future? So that's pretty much what I think you should look for. There's many other things, but the foundation, as I said, are these two things. What's in his heart and what's in his head. If you can find those two things in a man, I think you'll be on your way to finding an excellent person to be a partner and companion with for the long term. I love you.